start. Oh, Lee spun. But look at that. Panel to the inside. Oh. Here we go, Jack. Is he going to hold it? Oh, they make contact. Mata comes across the line, and for the fourth time, he is your VSL champion. Good evening, everybody, and welcome along to VSL Season 8, and welcome back after our break week. We are at Silverstone today for round number 5 for the British Grand Prix. More about the track just in a few moments' time. My name is Jesper, and joining me as per usual, we've got Mr. Evil Dragon, also known as Liam Yu. Liam, how are you doing tonight?
Well, good evening, everyone, and slightly better internet boy here, so hopefully, fingers crossed, and touching my desk, which is made of wood, I don't disconnect today, because I've got an internet connection which is now wired, not Wi-Fi, so the only thing's failing is my PC today, and it probably will at some point. But I'm here, we're at Silverstone, 2 weeks off, and we're going to get some cars, Jess. It's been a while.
Yeah, it is. It's been very, very exciting. I thought I was going to miss last week at VSL, but then I got told it was break week, so we were just, all of us were able to recharge our batteries, and even the drivers were able to recharge their batteries as well. A few weeks ago, believe it or not, we were back here, and it was caused a bit of controversy towards the end, the final few laps. A lot of cars died, there was quite a bit of carnage, and the driving standards, I would have to say, have got to improve. But with a track like Silverstone, there are certain corners that can bite you, so let's hope they don't make the same mistakes here.
Yes, well, this circuit, which is resoundingly, well, difficult, let's put it bluntly, it's not a very easy circuit to do right, though it is a very easy circuit to do very wrong. Now, of course, Magnus, Beckers and Chapel, that's going to be the key point of this circuit, very easy to go wide. We've also seen, of course, Turn 1 and the Abbey corner, of course, used to go left, but now goes right since, of course, 2010. That's another corner which is going to be seeing a few people very much caught out on.
Exactly. I think I've done a few races around here. Most of them tend to not go very well. I'm either rubbish on pace, and there was one instance in a league that I'm not going to say on stream that there was an instant ahead and I couldn't avoid it and I binned it through Chapel. So yeah, most of my races have not gone well here. Luckily I'm in the sunny commentary box because it's a nice and beautiful sunny day here at Silverstone, just like in real life actually. It was the first Grand Prix last year to have full attendance with spectators, which was quite nice. I was going to go this year, but unfortunately it sold out, so I will have to find another race to watch Silverstone on, maybe MotoGP or WEC or something. But anyway, we've got cars on the circuit now after what it seems like forever. The first car on circuit, as I get the right scene up, we have got Ryan Berry in the Alpine. 18 drivers tonight, which is great to see, and we've got a few reserves, which I had written down somewhere. I need to actually find out where I've written it. There we go. So here we got a full Aston Martin reserve lineup. We've got Timo, who won the race last time out. 2 races in a row for him, actually. He's on track at the moment, actually. Yes, he is, in the Aston Martin. He's looking to make it 3 in a row. He's actually in the championship, actually, despite being reserved, so good job to him. And in the other Aston Martin, we've got Fatinho. So great to have him back in the Red Bull, replacing Yuri tonight. As reserve, we got Red Matt again. We all like Red Matt, don't we? Yes, we do. And I'm just trying to see, have we got any other more reserves? No, that's it. We just got our 3 reserves. All the rest is full time. So I only have 3 sets of soft to use. I'm not surprised people have gone for the mean 3. They don't want to use the softs early on because there could be some safety cars if we saw similar to last season.
Most first man to do a lap time, and yes, we have cars on circuit. We are back racing, and here is Ryan Berry to begin his lap time around Silverstone. Turn number 1, right-hander flicks it at 180 miles an hour into Abbey, then down into the loop section. This new section here built in 2010, I suppose, is the more accurate term. 010, that was the 09 version. Before that, of course, that lasted for a long time. We'll get into all the track layout later on as you come through Aintree, and then down, I believe, is the Wellington Straight, this one. Yep. As you now come down past Brooklands. Famously, of course, there's a giant sign there that says Brooklyn, so I always get it right. Then, of course, down into Lutfield. the long right-hander, of course, then leading down to the old pit straight. This is the original pit straight, of course. No, not technically the original, but the second original pit straight. Down into Woodcote, and then down into the infamous Cops Corner. Will we see a car go side by side through here? Well, Ryan, nice and smooth through there, 170 miles an hour on the exits as he comes down into Maggots. Nice through there into Beckett, chuck it down into 6th gear, maybe one down more into 5th. Build the revs back up on the exit of Chapel, and then take nice shallow line past the hangers on the right. Well, there used to be hangers on the right. That's, of course, the hanger straight, and then down into Stoke, leg braking, of course. Let the car just roll in as you now come down into Vale, and then, of course, Club, which is the last corner, into the Vale chicane, as I've always been told nowadays. And then into the last corner, which is Club corner, of course, because, of course, of the clubhouse on the right. And across the line you go, and it's a 1:29.455, the fastest lap, because he's the only one to set a lap time so far.
Yes, the next person to set a lap is, of course, Timo. Last week, well, a few weeks ways ago, race winner, as he heads towards the Club and Vale complex. Obviously, the Hamilton Straight, named after Sir Lewis Hamilton, who had a quite crazy races in Silverstone in the past. As Timo comes across the line, 1:27.8 for him. We've got an AlphaTauri across the line. That is Lee, and I believe he's either starting his lap or he has invalidated deck. Up to the line at 1:27.9. Some good lap times on the mediums, to tell you the truth. Quite a few more people doing that. Red Matt was going to do a lap, but he has invalidated, so expect to see him on another lap on the medium tyres. We've got, I think, a bunch of cars doing laps, so we will follow them very, very quickly. We've got Flexi, who was one of our retirements from a few weeks ago in Baku. Doesn't want a repeat of that, Sunshine, as Flexi comes across the line into P3. We've got Timo's teammate for tonight, Vitinho, comes across the line on the softs. P4, Mike displaces him into P3. We've got Flexi's teammate, Casper, the friendly ghost, as I think both of us like to call him now. He's up to the line. It's not a fast lap time for him, but it's still a lap time, 1:28.8 for him. So banker times for now, and I believe we do have possibly one of the Tonys on the lap. No, he invalidated too. So that is it for most of the laps, apart from Lee in the AlphaTauri. But the top 7, quite close, Evil.
You can see Ryan did a second push lap right there. Goes up to P3 in the Alpine then. So channeling his little inner instincts there of doing a push lap to get the tyres up temperature, then going for a second one. Possible around Silverstone. Lee goes up to P2 in the Toro Rosso there, might I say. I will always call it Toro Rosso because it's better than calling an AlphaTauri. I like the Toro Rosso. Gives good memories. So there is the Toro Rosso, formerly a Minardi, might I say, back in the day. If we're going to call all the teams by their original team, we've got the Jordan in P1, the Minardi in P2, and then, if I'm not mistaken, it is... I think Mercedes, well, I don't think it goes back. It was to be Stewart. No, it's not. It would be Tyrrell. Yes, Tyrrell in P3.
Braun.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it used to be Braun, but Tyrrell, the original name there. And then we've got Alpine, which is the most confusing team on this grid, because that used to be, well, we'll go through it backwards. So it used to be, well, Alpine, Renault, then Lotus, then Renault, and then I think it was a few other things. The original Lotus, of course, not in it, but this isn't even the original Renault team either. The original Renault team, I believe, is... So it used to be Brabham, so... Not Brabham, it used to be the Benetton team, I believe. So.
Yes, it was. That was when Michael Schumacher actually won his first ever title, as Pete in the McLaren goes up into P1.
Yeah, so, Ryan, so this used to be... This was Alfa Romeo in this team. I believe it was before that. So the Alpine was an Alfa. The Alfa, meanwhile, was a Sauber. So it gets very confusing, this.
It
like
does.
I say, McLaren, though, that's a team that hasn't changed a lot. The other teams that haven't changed, we've got Ferrari, which hasn't changed, obviously. The Haas, which hasn't changed. We've got Williams, which is always nice to see. And I believe, of
Red
course,
Bull
Mercedes.
hasn't changed.
Red Bull has changed. That used to be, of course, the Stewart Grand Prix team.
Jaguar as well.
And then Jaguar, of course. And then, of course, Red Bull brought it for the infamous of £1. Just like, of course, Mercedes brought Braun. No, Braun brought Honda for £1. But it's interesting because the Honda, of course, is the Red Bull. And they battle, of course, Mercedes, which used to be Honda. So it's all like a weird... It's like a weird situation where teams then replace teams because, like I said, Alpine used to be Alpha, Alpha on the grid, so technically they're racing each other. Both, of course, used to be Alpha. Does that make sense? It does to me.
Yeah, it's a bit confusing if you're brand new to Formula 1, because quite a few people have come from Drive to Survive, but we got a few people setting their next laps. But to draw your attention to the stewards report from round 4 in Azerbaijan, so there was an incident involving Ryan Berry, Newgarden and Matt Ryan, and it was decided a 5-second time penalty to be added to Ryan Berry's next race time. So we have to do some maths, unfortunately, Liam, in this race. So wherever Ryan Berry finishes, we will need to add 5 seconds on, and then he also receives 1 penalty point. Also, 5-second time penalty to be added to Mike's next race time due to an incident between himself, Deck and Matt Ryan. Same with Matta and Sam. Matta gets a 5-second time penalty to his next race time. And the other 2 incidents with Deck and Slenderman, as well as Ben and Timo, no further action required. So we thought we were going to get swamped with incidents, but not as much as we thought. But yes, so we've got 2 or 3 drivers hit with 5-second penalties, which could make or break their race. So yeah, but luckily we don't have to do the math for the standings, so Matta has to do all that, because he's the one that does all the graphics. Thank you, Matta, by the way, for the heads up. We got Yarham on the mediums, and I believe, is it a fresh set of mediums? I think it is a fresh set of mediums, as he heads towards Beckett and into Chapel Corner. Clips that curve very nicely indeed, as it is an easy one-stop race, soft to mediums or medium to soft. So I did try the alternate strategy around there for one race, did not work out. The softs at the start of the race were a bit too OP. But anyway, he heads towards the final few corners now, braking just before the 100-metre board as he short shifts into 4th, then into 5th gear, then to the Hamilton straight. What can he do on the mediums? And it is Polium.
He had pole position on the medium tires, whilst I have some banter with the VSL admin, because do you know what they've done again, Jess? Our favourite thing. Do you know what track we're at? We are at hashtag VSL Baku. Yet again. 2nd time in a row. Gonna have to get them a sticker of.
Joking.
Yeah, let's not fire them. Let's just give them nice cuddles, because they've done it again. Our favourite thing. But like I said, Yarham, provisional pole on a set of medium tyres. What's this? This is some alternative strategy from the Haas team, and it's paying off so far. Who is next across the line? We've got Lee, who's just across the line there at 27.9, so he has just improved ever so slightly. We've got, I believe, both the Red Bulls. That'll be, of course, Mr. Redman
about to start his lap.
Beginning a lap time. We've got Flexi and Casper on a lap time. Casper invalidated, not having a good run so far for the Ferrari driver then. So P10 and P11 then, so far not doing such a good job, but they're going to have to be hopeful though later on in this qualifying that they could jump up the order, because middle of the pack, not normally where you want to be, is it?
No, you would ideally, if you want to be on the alternate strategy, you want to be 11th, but being 11th now is not ideal, because there's probably going to be quite a few people that will improve on their lap time. So we have got a Haas man in front of him, which is going into the pits, and Timo has got a damaged front wing. That's why he's going into the pits. So he must have hit something somewhere. I'm not entirely sure what he hit, but you never know, as Lee was mowing the lawn there just after Chapel, so he lost it there. Unfortunately, he has invalidated.
Spun it at the last corner. I tell you what, Redman's doing pretty well so far as he comes into Beckett's Beckett. Purple sector 1 then from the Red Bull driver. This could be a very nice lap time. Let's see what he can do. Looks nice and comfortable through the exit of Chapel. Takes the shallow line. Let's see. Purple sector 2 then. Now, knowing this game, it's not purple, but we'll see. I'm going to pretend it's purple sector 1. It says purple sector 2 into Stowe. Keep it in the right lines, Matt. Let's see. Nice through there. Yes, it is. Let's see. Down to the Vale chicane for what is going to be one of the only couple of times the Red Bull that hasn't had the best season so far. Let's see. Can Matt get on provisional pole? Yes, he can.
Wow.
By over half a second there. What a storming lap there from Matt in that Stewart.
Yes, indeed. We may reference the teams by their old
Turn
names.
is off in the Alpine. Has he hit the wall? No. Somehow, he hasn't hit it. And Well, I mean, he's done better than what I normally do there. You know me at turn 1. It normally ends in tragedy, but he survived.
Yeah, one of the Tonys, Tony the First. I don't know. I call him Tony the First because he had his name Tony First, and he's been there for quite a while in VSL. But there we go.
Lexi, Jess, going purple in sector 2. There we are. There's
Get
some
your
words.
words right, Liam.
Yeah, they're coming out very slowly. Purple sector 2 for Flexi in the thing. Now, I don't know if this is actually a purple lap time. It's very quick though. It's P3, and these medium tyres coming alive. This is what these guys want to be doing though. Qualifying this high on a set of mediums is a very good strategy. Now, obviously, as long as you don't get damage, which is of course very likely around Silverstone, it'll be good. Next across the line, of course, we've got Tony. He is not on a lap time because he was spinning around at turn number 1. But a good few lap times there as he got a yellow flag. And of course, I believe that will be a Red Bull of Red Map, who is out of fuel.
Yes, but he's not that far from the pit lane, so he should be able to come into the pits very quickly and get ready for his final run. Who is on a lap, though? It's Tony's teammate, Ryan Berry, who is going through Cop's corner. He takes it very well. Usually, you could take it flat out, but only if you turn in at the right time, which I usually get wrong. I usually have to lift because I always turn wrong, and usually I get it right on my in-lap, which is very annoying. But anyway, he's going past the hanger straight now. He's purple in sector 2. Another lap telling us porcupines from the game. We don't know. We will see. We'll see how he takes Stowe corner as well. Watch out for a few lap times invalidated there in quali and in the race due to penalties through there, which I've done a few times on this game. So Ryan Berry up to the line, and it is a P4. Not a bad lap time from Ryan Berry there.
Regular yellow flag there, and that, I believe, Newgarden. And he is in the old pit lane, and he is a bit stuck right there. Let's see, right hand down, Sunshine. Flick it round, nice and gently. You've got an AlphaTauri coming up behind you soon, but you should be all fine to get going. The AlphaTauri, that would be, I believe that might be Mike coming up quickly on him. Then, of course, he knows, well, talking of AlphaTauris, the other one's gone off just up the road, hasn't it? On
That's
the right,
Lee.
there is an AlphaTauri off the road, and the other AlphaTauri, tell you what, when I see one car, another car, identical as to go off, both of them, well, technically both the Red Bull teams have had an issue down at that sector now, because both of them having issues as, of course, Newgarden gets out the way. Looking at see who next is on a lap time. It will be, I believe, we've got Casper. He'll be the first to start his next lap time, last start of qualifying. So, first, this is really all but it then for these drivers for turn 1. Casper, of course, needs a good result here today. He's been looking very comfortable, but he's having a few ups and downs. But let's see what Mr. Casper, the friendly ghost, can do then. And let's see as he wiggles his way through entry. And, of course, the first sector split comes up in around about a few seconds. Around about now, the answer to is what he's doing. Down 7 tenths.
Yeah, so he hasn't found enough time on those medium tyres. The best, I'm trying to actually see the best time on the medium tyres. It is a 1:27.0 set by Yarham, which, to be fair, it's quite hard for Casper to beat, but you never know. If someone could beat that, it will be Casper then. So he heads through into Chapel. Now, there we got someone new that's joined the session. Well, not new because he did Bahrain, but his race did not end very well. We got Cam in the lobby. Who is, I think, allowed to do 1 lap in qualifying. So we now have not just 18 drivers, but we have 19 drivers. Cam, I believe, is filling in for Risky tonight, as Casper has backed off.
Yeah, I don't think Cam's going to get a lap time in, you know, Jess. I think he's just a little bit too far back right there. So unless he's going to do some grass cutting, which he was already doing, might I say, in one of the corners. But I don't think he's going to get a lap in, if I'm honest. He's just coming out of Brooklands. He needs to do the rest of the circuit in 40 seconds. So I think there's that one. There's a bit of kerfuddle going on in the last corner as everyone starts to do their last lap times right now. Vitinho is on his in-lap, so I believe actually he's invalidated. So he's going to go for a second post-lap. But looking through to see who is actually on what and where is a very hard thing to see because everyone is very close to each other and all in the same sector of the circuit.
Yes, final sector through Vale and Club, Liam, and also through the Hamilton straight as well. We've got the 2 Red Bulls working together. Well, they are from the same esports team, Team Speed, so of course they'll be doing that. And there are plenty of places where the toe can be given if it works well. Newgarden, unfortunately, does invalidate his lap, so he won't be improving on his run. But the first person to set a lap time, it won't be Deck. He did 9th. He can't improve on his lap time. Same with Ryan Berry. Cam cannot come to a line in time. Same with Slenderman. But we've got Deck's teammate, Matter, who has set the times alight here. Purple sector 2 then, through Stowe for the final time in this qualifying session for the Mercedes driver, a car that has won multiple British Grand Prix in the past. Will they be able to win one tonight with either Deck or Matter then? Through Club into the Hamilton straight, and it's P2 for him. Beats Yarham's lap time on the mediums then. We have got Flexi, no, it's Casper, the friendly ghost, who comes across the line. P5 on the medium tyres, so that's a pretty decent lap time for him. Red Matt cannot improve on his run. He goes into the pits. We've got Yarham, who is back out of fuel once again.
Right across the line, he was 5 attempts up and he ran out of fuel just at the line. But that could actually be him just wanting to start on that medium tyres, though. That's a good opportunity. Flexi will also back off his lap time, you can see. He's going to go for a set of mediums. I think he was thinking about getting out of the way of Tony, but he's not doing it. So I believe, yeah, we have everyone, I think, done. I think if Tony's just coming for the last corner now.
I think it was only Timo that improved, but I think the other Tony improved as well, but not by much. So it is Red Matt by just under 1/10 of a second on pole, with Timo in second position, Matter in third, separated by 2/10. And then the nearest car, the first person on the medium tyres, Yarham. We actually got 3 cars who set their best lap times on the mediums. Could be an interesting strat. There's Yarham, Flexi and Casper. Pete also set his best lap time on the medium tyres.
2 different alternative strategies. That's going to be the intriguing thing, but I'll go through our favourite little rundown in a few seconds, of course, as there we go, the game decides to load. But it's the Englishman ahead of the Dutchman. They're in second position, ahead of the Brit in third, ahead of the 2 Englishmen in fourth and fifth, ahead of the Finnish in sixth, ahead of the entire world in seventh of Ryan Berry. Then comes Vitinho, ahead of Knighton, Mike, Ryan, Lee, Acorn, Matt Scribble in 13th. Then comes Newgarden, George in 15th, ahead of Tony, Cam, Blenderman in 18th, and Mr. Tony didn't set a lap time either, so they're going to be interesting to see what the strategies they can do, Jess.
Yeah, indeed. I don't think Tony in the Williams did not set a representative lap time, so maybe he didn't have time to potentially hook a lap time in, unfortunately, but you never know. Make sure, by the way, you check our sponsors out, Rogue Energy. You can go onto their website, rogueenergy.com, by using the code VSL F1 League for 10% off. Thank you to Rogue Energy for all the help and support that you do for our league. But before qualifying, before the race, let's go through your driver's standings, because we got 2 minutes until the race starts, so we got another beautiful sunny day. So that is good for us. That's also good for the drivers, because usually it typically rains in Britain quite a lot. In fact, it was quite windy in Liverpool when I was away. Some days weren't very nice. We still managed to do some nice stuff. But anyway, we will talk about that another time, because that's not for stream purposes. So, driver standings then. Like I said earlier, Timo is leading by 2 points. Let me do my maths correct. To Casper in second position. Don't forget, Timo is a reserve driver. We then got Tony in the Williams in third on 48 points. Fourth is Slenderman on 45. Fifth is Matter on 43. Sixth is Flexi on 34. Kieran can't make it tonight, but he's in seventh position on 22. Deck, also known as Acorn, in 8th position on 21 points. We got Iceman in 9th on 20 points. And we got J-Luke in 10th on 18 points. Both drivers are reserves. Now we got the 2 AlberTauris in 11th and 12th. That is Mike and Lee on 18 and 16 points respectively. Then we got the 2 Alpines of Ryan Berry and Tony, 13th and 14th respectively. And both have 15 points. Consistent? I think so. 15th, we got Red Matt on 12 points. Pretty decent showing for him. We got 16th, Matt Ryan. I don't think Matt Ryan is here tonight. I'll need to double check that. And then we got Sheldon Cooper in 17th. Risky, who's not here tonight. He's on 6 points in 18th. Yarham in 19th on 6th, and then we got Cam in 20th on 5 points. Then we got another page, just bear with. We've got the 2 Red Bulls on 4 points each with Ahmed and Yugon. Ahmed is not here tonight. He's got a celebration that he's partaking as per his tradition. So hope he has a good time tonight with that. Yuri is on the 2 points. And then we got George, Speed Knighton, Hayden, Panos and Kev yet to score. I think Aston Martin, just like in real life, Liam, we did have a few Aston Martin score points, because don't forget reserves do score points for their constructors, unlike other leagues, which is good to see. Speaking of constructors, we'll go quickly because we are about to go on the formation app because they readied up too early. Ferrari on 100 points. Then we got Aston Martin in second on 86, third and Alfa Romeo on 79. Fourth is Mercedes on 64, fifth is Williams on 58, sixth is AlphaTauri on 34, then we got Alpine in 7th on 30, McLaren is 8th on 28, ninth is Haas on 17, and 10th is Red Bull on 8 points. And apart from obviously the ones in the top 10, likes of Yarham, Flexi, Casper and Pete, who just opted to go on the mediums because they qualified on them, that's their best lap. The only one outside the top 10 to go for the soft tyres is Matt Ryan. Everyone else has gone for the mediums, Liam.
Yeah, indeed. Now, I found out it's George who readied up early. George has betrayed us right there. Naughty George, but it's fine. We've got it through right in time there with a little bit of rush from our favourite Jess, who managed to get it all done just in time because we're in the last sector.
There we go.
Perfect timing, isn't it? I mean, there we go. We just got it this time. But nonetheless, as I can get everything all up on my screen, there we go. Now I can see everything. And hopefully, no desyncs, no issues on the first lap. Hopefully no crashes either, which is very high here at Silverstone. We see a lot of drama on the first couple of laps. You definitely will be seeing at least one car pointing backwards by turn number 3. Hopefully, not more than one. But let's get ourselves into the grid shot. The Red Bull or Red Mat then on that pole. Last position, of course, the Alpine then of Tony as he comes through the last corner right now. As you can see them all getting ready then. All lining up on this 28 car grid, I think it is, on the game. It's 28 grid, yeah, it is. 28 grids, of course. Total, that is, of course, due to endurance racing. They can hold that many cars, but let's get ready then, here in Silverstone, with what is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, pause, go here in Silverstone. It looks like a good start from Redman. Looks like a terrible start for one of the houses there in the background. And I'm in Yarham there, as on the outside there, the Mercedes, they come through turn 1 and 2, but Redman brutally got lapped perfectly away from Timo. Matter along there as everyone slots themselves then pretty much nice and through there, apart from Knighton, who goes around turn number 3. And that there exactly what I think had happened as they come through on the exit of entry. They're down towards the Wellington Straight. A few of them about 3 abreast in the background there. Redman having to weep ever so slightly, but gets it all nice and slotted there. As wide there, looked like Matt having a bit of contact there with one of the Ferraris. Now there, Flexi trying to go around the outside of the house. More cars off, and now Flexi's been spun round right into the middle of the pack. Has to do a flick spin, 360 degrees to get it back going. But their contact with Yarham there, also off Lee. George in trouble, and already drama at the start of this race, Jess.
Yes, quite a few people want to get moved straight away, but it's only the first lap. You don't win the race in lap 1 or even turn 1, to be honest as well. But the top 2 pretty much got away unscathed, which is great to see. And we are starting to see more moves being made towards the Hanger Straight, then into Stowe Corner. Coutinho tried to cover off Mike in towards Stowe Corner. Couldn't quite work, but he's right on his gearbox as well. We've got, I think, a few derating issues from the drivers as well. That's why Coutinho was able to get past the AlphaTauri driver quite comfortably into Vale Corner and into Club as well. We got Pete, who is in the pits then, so he'll be going on to a set of the medium tyres. Not ideal for him. I think it's another set of mediums actually. As well, we got Matta, who has been passed by both Casper, the Friendly Ghost, and Yarham as well. So Matta seems to be struggling on those soft tyres in the Mercedes. So both Mercedes drivers not doing very well. We got 1 in 5th and 1 down in 12th position. Highest medium runners, by the way, out of the ones who pretty much were outside the top 10. Newgarden's had a cracking start, but he's been pressured by Slenderman going to Brooklands and Luffield, and he gets a move done actually very, very well timed from Slenderman too, up into 10th position. Then he could get another one potentially as well. We also got Matt Ryan that could get Mike anytime soon, but I think Mike has got the straight line speed. No, Mike has invited maybe Matt Ryan to go through. He's won a little bit wide then, so Matt Ryan takes a very interesting line, and he does it very well actually through the Maggot and Beckett's complex up into 8th position then. So a lot of change in the midfield. Still though, Liam, the top two haven't budged. Red Matt's still first, Timo still in P2.
Tony Meanwhile making a move up there on to Cam. That is the battle between 14th and 15th position as Newgarden battling away with Tony. Then see inside line, they breaking. Then is he going to try chuck it in? There's going to be contact there. They're just about rubbing, but they get away with it. George with a time penalty. Gap up front. 5 the gap as Cam comes into the pit lane. Side by side. Mike backing off up the inside of Slenderman. Doesn't want to go side by side into the Abbey Kinkler, of course. But, like you said, up front, still together, of course. 7/10 that gap between those two soft drivers. Casper running in third, just ahead, of course, of Yarham in fourth. But this is really where Timo wants to start getting that move on. Start closing up, start trying to pressurize that Red Bull driver. The Red Bull slightly wide, actually. This is going to allow an opportunity then down into Cops. If Timo gets the ERS, he's going to have to blast it. Redman might be under some pressure here, let's see, but no, he's going to just sit back for the time being. Redman, though, just goes to the inside just to say, don't try it, but Timo just going to think the long strategy then. He will wait until the DRS stroke, but a bit of a bad exit low out of Cop's corner, just compromises him a few tenths of a second, but Redman, a slight mistake right there, and he doesn't want to be doing it too much. Now with the DRS, 5 tenths the gap, you really want to be a ravine around about 4 tenths. 4.5 tenths realistically with the DRS with all the ERS to get a proper run. Depending on the ERS, you can see that closes only a little bit. There is Matt Ryan has gone round, and that there on the exit of Chapel Corner. So he's probably dropped it on the cover, had contact with another car. I'll tell you what though, Jazz, both the McLarens in the pit lane already at the beginning of this race, both of them together as well.
Yes, I think their days have gone from bad to worse, Liam. Unfortunately, I believe it's the second time for both of these drivers that they have gone into the pits, as Mike almost went a bit off. We've got another yellow flag, and it is Cam once again. Damage. Well, to be fair, he did join the lobby late, so he didn't have enough practice. And, Cam has got no helmet on my screen.
Yes. The infamous and my favourite thing, he's doing the Mark Webber strategy. Now, let's see if he's got floor damage. Yeah, he definitely looks like he's squiggly. But, so close there. Flexi, contact with Ryan on the exit of entry corner. They're going to rub Whittles down the straight as, I think, just backing off there ever so slightly is Ryan. I don't think he meant that then. I think he did a bit too close to comfort with his fellow compatriot right there. But, so close then between those two drivers. As my accent suddenly changed. It does that sometimes. But Red Matt still leads this race from Timo. The top two then, 3 tenths that gap. Closing up low right now. And tell you what, Timo in this line of form, if he gets this good exit, he well and truly, Red Matt's going to have to cover the inside line here, I reckon, because here is going to be Timo. Is he close enough? Red Matt covers the inside, but he's not going to look it so far, Timo. He's just sitting back. Doesn't want to attack him straight away. And this is an interesting strategy right now from Timo. Just trying to suss out, trying to see where Red Matt is slow and try and just wear his tyres up by forcing him to take compromised lines through these corners. Casper and Yarham in 3rd and 4th. Matt in 5th ahead of Ryan and Slenderman. Then, of course, comes this huge gaggle of cars downwards all the way to around about 12th position of Acorn, who's running in that 12th position. Jaws with a 3-second time penalty. He's picked up a few of them so far, up to 9 so far this afternoon, on that 5 of this race. So he's getting it around about 3 seconds every 1.5 laps, I think that evens out to about. Ryan also with a 3-second time penalty. But like I say, Jess, the top two really starting to streak away from those medium runners.
Yes, I think the gap between Casper and P2 at the moment is 2.2 seconds. So, yes, I think those two have been helping each other quite a lot to make sure that they break away from the rest of the pack as well, so they could just fight like there's no tomorrow. Another teams that are fighting are the two Ferrari pack teams. We've got obviously the main works team, Casper, and then we've got the sister team of Haas, so it's obviously doing a lot better in real life than last season. Scoring more points. We've got a move. We've got a move for the lead. It's Timo versus Redmat. This time Timo's got the job done in towards Stowe corner. Nicely timed from the Aston Martin driver, and Timo is now your race leader. He's done that in Baku, and he's trying to repeat what he did in the last two races then so far. Peter's got another time penalty. Not good news for him then as well, but I wonder if Redmat is playing mind games. He maybe doesn't mind their team again past him to that, because Redmat will now have the benefit of the DRS. Redmat has just got to make sure he doesn't fall behind by 1 second, otherwise he will lose out on the DRS. And guess what? Casper could catch up. Believe it or not, they are starting to catch up as well, so the crossover point could come a bit earlier than we think, but you never know. I don't think Redmat's close enough to go for a move just yet. Is Jarham going to go for a move on Casper? No, not quite, but we got Slenderman versus Ryan Berry then, heading in towards Brooklands then on the inside. There he goes, tucked nicely, goes Slenderman up into sixth position. Few gainers on this race so far as Flexi gets past Tony. Slenderman, by the way, the best start out of anybody, up 12 positions. That is insane. And we also got Tony the second, ERT Cliffy, as I like to call him, up 7 positions, so he is the second highest gainer. Another yellow flag. That is George. No, it's not George. He's having a battle. Oh, he's made a bit of contact now in the almost mowing the lawn there, but we've got both of the McLarens struggling once again. Here comes Jarham and Casper then in towards Stowe. Jarham on the mediums, gets past Casper, and these drivers are going to be fighting for a long time to come yet, but some great moves out there, Liam, and we're only on lap 6, so I'm looking forward to the rest of this race.
Well, no one's actually really got into a wall. We haven't seen any safety cars, which is normally around Silverstone. I've done it now, but normally at Silverstone, we normally see a safety car within the first couple laps, so they're driving pretty well, of course. Although saying that, I do remember a race where I said that, and then at the last day of the race, we had 3 safety cars in a row, and a few cars spinning in a pile up. You know, ignoring the slight issue. Do you know what I said earlier, that not many people have penalties? Now everyone's getting penalties. We've got Newgarden, we've got Flexi, Ryan, Lee, George, Knighton, and also that all of them, actually. So those are the only ones. Vito, meanwhile, 3 tenths the gap between him and Ryan Berry. Those soft tyres, by the way, lasted till around about lap 10. I believe it is an easy one-stop, if I remember correctly. Lap 10, then of course 16 laps, of course, on that medium tyre. The longer you can stretch these softs, the better. Cam, fastest lap of this race on the mediums, to be fair as well. So I don't think he had floor damage at all, actually. Just like he was struggling. Newgarden with a time penalty right there for exceeding. Vito with a time penalty as well for exceeding. Everyone's exceeding right now. It's so easy to do it. Silverstone, Ryan Berry, meanwhile, taking a shallow line here. Comes Vito, will go to the inside line then, and nothing that the Alpine can do. Further back, meanwhile, 3 wide, nearly always going to be 3 wide down in the Stowe. That there, Acon there, optimistic, has he got it on the exit, contact with the Red Bull, just about gets it. Here comes Mike trying to go back round the outside, hits the rear of Acon, punts him right, contact them with Newgarden, and somehow the 3 of them just about survive that one and carry on their merry way. Good stuff from Acon there, optimistic as per usual, and that's what you like to see here. You've got to take those moves when it arises, because if he didn't do that one, Newgarden would have got the pair of them.
That was a very big risk, and sometimes usually we go 3 wide through Stowe, you usually go and hit a wall, but luckily those drivers respect each other quite a lot, and they were able to make the move quite comfortably as well. So that's how you race in Silverstone, 3 wide through Stowe. You can do it, but I don't advise you to do it too often, because sometimes the risks do not pay off. I'm looking at Casper's fuel, by the way, and he is probably fueled to think that there's possibly going to be a safety car. Now, you don't really want to do that, because even though you think that might be a safety car, well, there might not be. So you've got to just fuel the right amount, and if there is no safety car, Casper is going to be in a lot of trouble.
He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Redmat, meanwhile, still closing up to the back of Timo. He's not going to make a move into Stoke. A little bit too far back this time around, but he's definitely closing up then. as per usual, he's top two. I want to see if anyone's going to do an undercut. Yeah, Red Matt, you can see that. Jink to the right. He's playing mind games right now. And that's what we like to see. Ryan Berry, meanwhile, has just been overtaken by Tony. As in comes Vito, and also in comes Matt into the pit lane. And Vito again struggling. That's now 8 seconds. So it'll be stopping later on in this race. So it'll be an unserved penalty. If we get safety car, I won't be surprised to see Vito in to serve it. But no, don't forget, though, I think actually, Jess, do we not have to do both 2-stop strategies in this race?
No, his one stop.
It's one stop, yeah. I'm trying to figure out, there's so many rules I have to figure out in different leagues. It confuses me sometimes. But, so far, Timo still leads this race from Redman. That gap, though, very precariously close right now. 3 times the gap. Timo a little bit wide then into Brooklands. This is all going to allow the Red Bull driver to just stick with him a little bit closer, not using any of the ERS low. Just there is George out of this race in the pit lane, so that will not be a safety car. Now, I did remember and did read that if you retire on track purposely, you do get a qualifying ban. So retiring the pit lane is the advisable option.
So George won't get a qualifying ban because he did the right thing there.
Yep, right, here we go though. Red Matt on Timo. That's he has to go to the inside. Go to the outside. The old dummy then. To the outside line. He's got him in the background there. You can see Casper up the inside as well. Passing Yaham. So both of them on the move. But what a little move there from Red Matt. Dives straight in the pit then here on that number 9. Just that is a nice stop then to cover off. Get the undercut strategy. He's got the move done. Now he can relax. Further back meanwhile, we've got Flexi, Akon and Newgarden battling. Newgarden getting past Akon as well. Akon dropping back down the order, but he's going to stick his nose in. Just about gets away with it there. A bit of contact, but no harm done right there as you survive another day. And on they come though. Is he going to think about a move into turn number 1? There is up is New Zealand Cam off at Cop's corner. And again struggling in there. He's got the curb, and I believe Red Matt, of course, coming out, and he'll be in clean air just ahead of lead.
Yes, so that is crucial that you time your pit stops around here. One of the longest pit lane lost times on the calendar. I think the longest in terms of time is actually Singapore, I believe. So Britain, if you get in traffic around here, not good because there's quite a few people that are going to go for the overcut otherwise. So Red Matt timed that very well. But the question is, Timo has got to pull the in-lap of his life and hope that some other drivers can potentially catch up to Red Matt, such as Lee, but we'll have to wait and see then. So Timo's gap to Casper, 2.1 seconds. Casper obviously will be staying out. That just leaves 3 drivers yet to make their stops who are starting on the soft. That is Timo, Ryan Berry and Matt Ryan. Expect them to come into the pits very, very soon. There goes one soft runner. I expect Ryan Berry to do exactly the same, hopefully, because otherwise his tyres will not make it. It will puncture like Lewis Hamilton and Bottas did a few years ago. And yep, he goes in. So Matt Ryan, well, he's got to come in now, doesn't he? Otherwise he's going to lose so much time to the other soft runners. And no, the only soft runner, Liam, that is staying out.
Berry in the pit lane. Matt Ryan, though, he staying out ever so slightly longer, of course. You can do it in this race. You can stay out a little longer than you think. Around about lap 12, that is probably the upper echelon then. That's where you really want to come in, because any longer lap, then you are getting in trouble. Yarham's closing up to the back of Casper again.
Sorry, Liam, have to cut you off. This is a battle for the lead. Undercut versus overcut as they head towards pass in and to the Wellington straight very, very soon. But heavy braking zone then. I think Timo got the advantage in the pit stops, but Red Matt wanted to get the move straight away. As soon as he saw Timo, he was like, you're not having that play, sunshine. As Red Matt takes the net lead once again of the British Grand Prix. And this is a great battle between these two. They're reserve drivers, don't forget, as well. They're not even full-time drivers, but they're still giving it everything, because you never know, they could be called up to a full-time drive at any moment. So the points they get as a reserve driver now could affect them in the future. And I have to say, fair play to both of them as well. And we're going to see that battle pretty much continue for a long time to come. Meanwhile, Lee, we got a battle between Casper and Yarham on the medium tyres. They'll be doing it to around about, I think, lap 15, 16, and then they'll be going on to a set of the soft tyres, and that will get until the end of the Grand Prix. So we'll see what those two can do up front as well, and Casper will be taking advantage of Joham's ERS, as Casper's got quite a lot of ERS to play with, but less fuel. Johan has more fuel, so pretty much they're even teams in that one. Matt Ryan, the last of the soft runners to go into the pit. So yes, Red Matt is now your net race leader. I don't think Johan's going to go for a move on Casper. He does not. So yeah, the top 2 in this race still yet to stop, of course. I think the top 8 still yet to stop, as Matt Ryan, where does he come out of? Yeah, he just comes into the pit on a set of the mediums there, but he's going to drop way down because he pitted late.
Drop out, we've come out just ahead, I believe, of Knighton then. So, actually, he might come up behind Knighton, but Knighton, we believe, will have to stop a lot earlier because he is, of course, on very worn medium tyres right now. They've been on pretty much since the start of this race. Casper, 3-second time penalty, a little bit too much cutting on the inside of Maggot. Of course, Jarham 6 hours back. They were playing a little bit of DRS mind tricks a few moments ago. Casper braked a little bit early there, trying to get Jarham to go through up the inside, but Jarham then braked even harder, trying not to go past. So both of them playing a little bit of tactics. Jarham, you can see, just lining that in there, just pretending he's going to go in the pillar and see if Casper tries to do something, but it doesn't really work half the time. It's very rare to see that strategy. Meanwhile, looking back at Timo and Radman, that gap now 6/10 of a second. Behind them, Lee and Matter, 5/10 of a second. Really not seeing many people closing up and overtaking every Silverstone. And it seems to be a little bit of a slow burner at the beginning of this race. Like I said, the real gainers out of this race, Slenderman up 15 positions as Matt gets a time penalty. But of course, we are still waiting for a few to stop. Everyone down from 9th bar Lee has stopped so far, and that really has to show you some of the interesting strategies some of these drivers are running. And looking at the front, Jess, like I say, Jarham and Casper staying up. And I tell you, if we get a safety car, Jess, which is always possible here at Silverstone, this is really going to play into these guys' hands, because they can set on a set of hards to go to the end. The hard size, of course, not optimal, though if they could stretch it maybe a couple more laps,
they
maybe
could go
2
on
or
the
3
softs
laps.
now. They could go on the softs now. Softs from this point does get to the end, and oh no! Timo's disconnected, Liam!
Oh, what rotten luck for Timo there. His connection's gone, but Jarham's looking, but is not passing the car of Casper. Mike with a 3-second time penalty, but rotten luck for Timo then here in Silverstone. And just like the Aston Martins in real life, it's gone up in smoke.
Yes, he was doing brilliantly, having a nice battle with Red Matt. I don't think Red Matt will be too pleased with that, because he probably was robbed of a nice battle towards the end there. But at least there's going to be less pressure on the Red Bull driver now, and some decent points from the Red Bull could be coming his way. But like Liam said, there could be a safety car. But Jarham, second position at the moment again. 3/10 behind Casper, but he's got the DRS, he's got the ERS, he's got the fuel, but he couldn't get past Casper on this occasion then, into Luffield and heading towards Woodcote. Casper taking the curves, interestingly, there as well. Jarham did not want to take the risk there, but luckily Timo has joined the session, but he's lost a little bit of time to Red Matt. He's dropping like flies. Matter could catch up for him very, very soon as well. So for our sake, let's hope Timo could catch up to Red Matt. We can have a nice battle on our hands, but we shall see. We're following Casper and Jarham through the Maggot and Beggett section of the circuit, getting towards Chapel then as well. We are starting to see Casper pull away with his straight line speed, so I wonder if he's got a little bit more downforce in his car potentially compared to Jarham, but they have the same amount of tyres as well, so I wonder if Jarham is pushing a little bit, knowing that Casper has a penalty, as Matter does get past Timo. And as Timo rejoined the session, yes, he has rejoined the session. So sadly he's lost a bit of time, but glad he was had a spare invite and is able to race for us again, which is good news. But I think he's going to be in a net P3. Yeah, he's going to be in a net P3, so still some decent points. But as Jarham, Liam, our first medium tyre runner, who started on the mediums, of course, is going on to a set of the red striped soft tyres.
He is, as meanwhile, Timo passing Matter straight back through up into that we believe is net P2 in this race. Now, though, it could be interesting to see as out comes Jarham. It's actually been interesting to see where Jarham's going to come up. I think Jarham's going to be ahead of Timo here, you know, Jazz. This is, yeah, he's going to be way ahead of Timo. So that's really actually showing how much that being an AI has cost him, and that surely means Casper's going to be coming into the pit lane as well. Slenderman, I think, actually might also be ahead here of I think Slenderman might also just be ahead of Timo as well, Jess. So it'll be awfully close. It'll be in between Timo and Matt. They'll be on a soft tyres. So that disconnect costing a huge amount of times. But this really now is where Casper to get the wiggle on and just go push, push, push. Because he's going to be under pressure. Yarham on that set of soft tyres, though. He can go and chase very quickly now after Red Matt. So we've got a motor race on our hands as the clouds there I'm starting to see in the distance. They are definitely getting a little bit more heavier, ever so slightly. Red Matt, 3 second time penalty on the inside of Maggots.
Though that is turned the story on its head. Also, that means I'm actually have a look, Liam, at the delta time between the softs and the mediums. But if this carries on the way it is at the moment, Yarham could be on for his first race win at VSL, but I'm not going to say anything more because people do know that I curse quite a bit at VSL. I did it quite a lot last season. People were complaining. I even had a bingo card saying Jeff will commentate his curse. That's how common it has been all season last season. But anyway, I think Tony's still yet to stop, but he's been passed by Red Matt. And I think Yarham's going to do exactly the same in just a few laps time as soon as he catch up. Stet also comes in then on a set of the soft compounded tyres, and I think the top four are just hoping a safety car comes out now because that would help them quite a lot. But you can see the rate that Yarham is actually catching up to the front of the pack at the moment. It's quite significant at the moment, and I'm just looking at the pit lane lost time, 28.5 seconds. And if obviously Slenderman pits now, I'm just trying to see, you will just be behind Matter, I believe, unless Matter loses a bit of time at the moment. But yeah, it's gonna be close, and I'm ready to see how this plays out. Only one retirement so far, but no instance of people hitting the wall ending their race. But I've probably jinxed it now. Oh my god!
Right, I just you said it. And there goes Casper, 2 months on the curb, and round the Ferrari goes, and well done, Jess, you've done it. Now, and there's another one off as well as that, as a yellow flag. Who's that? Is that
that's you Garden in the pits.
You Garden's just slowing a bit too much there, because the yellow flag came out, so he slowed a bit. There is Jess, cursing people, right there. Poor old Casper, and he has been ghosted. Friendly Ghost is going to be an angry Ghost right now, but he's still got a little bit to go. He can still come back and get a few possession. No, those tyres are going to be worn. They're going to be a bit warm, so he's going to be taking it a little bit cautiously, but just got 2 months on the curb there down into Chapel. Rear end just said no, and round she went. The Ferrari spinning around, but he'll be carrying on. I think he is still in a decent position there in 8th, so I think he is 5th? I think he's 5th. Overall right now. Actually, he might be behind Slenderman, Tony and Flexi, actually. All thinking of it. Let's have a look at that gap. 31 seconds. So yeah, he needs to get a bit of time. So Slenderman, Tony, Flex. Well, Slenderman and Tony could jump him, but that's going to be very close between those two. But Flexi in that Ferrari, meanwhile, he's in 3rd position, carrying on his merry way. Slenderman with a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits on the exit of Stowe Corner. Tony as well. These guys staying out a long time right now. I don't know if they know something we don't know, but what I can tell you is their tyres getting worn. Now I say that, Tony's gone his quickest lap time so far of this afternoon.
There we go, as Flexi comes into the pit, as you said that as well. So you've had some good timings on this stream, Liam, already. Well done, bravo. You're already doing better than me. Yeah, it's 1-0 to Mr. Evil Dragon on the stream there. Yeah, I still call him Evil Dragon from time to time, even though I know him now as Liam. But there we go. He is Evil Dragon because he likes to make me curse people. But anyway, so Flexi, where is he going to come out? It's going to be a long run to the pit lane exit. I think Deck's almost certainly going to be ahead of Flexi, but you never know. Anything can happen in Formula 1, as Murray Walker likes to say, and it usually does. Deck gets ahead of Flexi. Might be ahead of Flexi, or it's going to be tight. Heading past Farm and into the arena. Curve is all. That was a bit of a slide from Mike there, but he just got it stopped in time there. As Tony P has got a time penalty as well. Time penalties are... I'm quite surprised they're getting time penalties yet, actually, because I thought more people would get time penalties in places like, I'm trying to think, Russia. But they seem to be getting more penalties here, which is quite interesting, as Tony the second, is into the pit lane. Slenderman stays out again. The more he stays out, the more time he's going to lose. But I think he's just going to lay his bed and go on his bed and lie on it. And yeah, I don't think he's on the right strategy. But it's good to take risks sometimes. And don't forget, in VSL, the top 12 score points. And if you're inside the top 12 and get the fastest lap, guess what? You get an extra point as Lee picked up another time penalty as well. Then Newgarden is fighting with Mike into Stowe. And he does it. Yep, he does. Newgarden gets into P12 on the fresh stop rubber. And he's now going to catch up to Flexi. That could be a good fight as well. But you know the battle that we said between Yarham and Red Matt? The gap is closing. 2.2 seconds.
Definitely close, but don't forget as well, Yarham will be pushing these tyres. There'll be a point where all of a sudden those tyres are going to be probably around about the same as Red Matt, of course. But don't forget as well, Red Matt has that 3-second time penalty. Yarham on course for a victory, potentially here in Silverstone. And I'm going to use the potential, of course. But like I said, look at the clouds, yes, they are slowly coming over here in Silverstone more and more. It's definitely getting darker in the sky. And I did hear alleged rumours that there could be rain. It could come extremely late in this race, so whether it'll become an effect, we'll find out soon enough. Mata and Timo closing up between those two. Timo, of course, after that disconnect earlier on, that gap is around about 3/2 of a second. I think Matt actually might have a look into Stowe, but I think a little bit too far back. I think he'll just slightly bleed off the throttle right there. Indeed, he does, as in comes Slenderman in from the lead of this race. We will relinquish and will drop down behind Vehitinho then, I believe. Though it could be a little bit close for these guys behind. Off goes Knight, and that'll be a safety car, I reckon. He's dropped it out, and that is a safety car. He's dropped it out of
bad timing for Slenderman.
How'd you say that, Lo? I think that might actually work, although he's stuck behind the safety car. Hello, move over, he says, and there he goes. That's actually not too bad for Slenderman.
It's not. Because he's just pitted. There'll be quite a lot of people that want to go on softs. Even though Slenderman's got a few time penalties, thinking about it, Slenderman could be on course to be winning this race. Yarham could be on course to be winning this race. If I was Timo and Red Matt, I don't know what I would do, but everyone else behind them who has not gone on softs, if you're Vitinho, if you're Ryan Berry, a lot of the drivers around them will be on soft tyres, so they're going to get swamped. So probably potentially going onto a soft tyres. So people that potentially could be coming in will be Ryan Berry, Vitinho, Mata, Timo and Red Matt. Everybody else will potentially be staying out. And we did say that we were surprised that there's no safety cars. Guess what? We got one. So, yeah, another curse on the stream.
Bingo card. Right there, safety car at Silverstone. No, I did say we're going to see more than one, but normally at least one safety car, of course. And it's my favourite corner, Jess. It's on the exit of Chapel, a car going off into a wall. Which is so common here at Silverstone to see a car going off. At least no one got obliterated this time, because that's happened before. But nonetheless, Tony, he is in a good position as well on that set of soft tyres. Slenderman as well. In comes Mata. In comes Red Matt. Oh, Mata. That isn't what you want to be doing, sunshine. Getting a 5-second time penalty. Right there, that won't do it all. And naughty. I believe we'll see. I think Vitonio will be coming in. Now, he'll be serving a 5-second penalty, Jess, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so. Let me check penalties. Yes, he will. So, if you have a 5-second penalty and you're lower down the grid, if I were you, I would serve it. So that is what Vitinho's going to do. Mata did just get it, so he won't be able to serve it, unfortunately. But we have got a final few laps on our hand. This is going to be a 5-lap race, but hopefully it's cleaner than the open lobbies that we now tend to see on the game.
You know what, though, Jess? Timo, this is a blunder, isn't it? This is surely a big blunder. Look, staying out on 9-lap old mediums when you've got, what, everyone else on a set of soft tyres. You are like the ugly duckling here, and duckling's normally a yellow I'd be concerned if they were red, to be fair. The evil angry duckling. But the red rubber ducks versus the yellow rubber duck, and that is the Aston Martin, which is on that set of mediums versus the hungry guys around him. Slenderman, Tony, Casper, Redmat, Flexi, Acorn, Newgarden, Matt, Tony, Vitonio, Ryan, Mike, Ryan, Lee, and Cam as well, all on a set of softs versus one on the mediums. I'm a little bit concerned right now for Timo. I mean, it's a bold strategy, Jess. Let's see if it pays off.
Well, you probably might not remember this, you probably do. I raced around Imola a few weeks ago. We had someone similar, the only person to stay on the medium tyres. He was leading a race in a safety car. The safety car was on a bit in the race, to be fair. I think a big 10 laps, 10, 12 laps towards the end. He went on to win the race still, so it's still possible for Timo to win, because it could be track position, but the difference between softs and the mediums around here, 5 tenths. So if he can just hold the drivers around him for a few laps, he should be fine, but the DRS is so OP around this track, you never know, as a few people have gone off in the safety car.
Matter in the pits to serve his penalty, Jess.
Yeah, if I were you, I would serve it, because otherwise it will be added to the end of the race. But don't forget, Liam, we have a few people that will be out having 5-second penalties added to their race time due to the incident in Baku. We got Ryan Berry, we have got Mike, and we also got Matta. So Matta will still have 5 seconds, so at least he won't have 10 seconds when he serves this one. So, yes, so there we go. So we will do a bit of maths as well. But ones with penalties, they're going to probably struggle to potentially get on the podium. But the ones that could get a good result are the ones without penalties. Yarham, Timo, if he can hold his position. Tony in the Williams. We've got Deck as well, who's kept it penalty free. Well, let's just see what these three could do, because if they are able to keep pace with the guys near the front, they could be on for a podium.
It could be. Look at these clouds. They are slowly coming over more and more. These safety cars staring out. I don't think it's going to rain, though. I don't think it's going to rain, but it definitely, those clouds are getting bigger and bigger. But I think we might be fine, though. How quickly they're coming across would be concerning. But with 22 out of 26, so we've got 4 laps to go in this race. Anything can still happen, and it usually does. But safety cars should be in this lap. We are just waiting on New Zealand Cam to get to the back of the field. Like, he should do that down at least at the down towards by Stowe at the earliest opportunity. So we should get it in this lap. If not, we'll definitely get it next lap. Though my theory will be we'll get it this lap. Though let's see. Is Cam gonna catch the safety car? We'll find out. There's the first line of where we see the safety car is in. The next line will be just down towards Stowe. So it's going to be a late call. Cam's just going to catch the back of the field. If it's going to do it, it's going to be a little bit too late if it's going to come in now. So we're going to get one more lap under the safety car.
Yes, because... oh, no!
Never mind.
Never mind, Liam. He's coming to the pits then. That's a bit late. That's the latest I've ever seen a safety car come in around Silverstone. I don't think Yarham was expecting that. So he's going to be able to control the field late on. Will he leave it late, or will he go and floor it right now? We'll see his throttle input as well as we head towards the Hamilton straight then. We'll see what he could do. Does he go? He goes now then. He uses his ERS to perfection it, and he pulls away then. Yarham leads the field away in towards turn 1 of Abbey, and then in towards Farm Curb. Let's see what everyone else does as well. Red Matt trying to get past Tony then, in towards Arena and past into Abbey. I got the corner names wrong, but I don't care. But anyway, heading towards the Wellington straight. Red Matt, I think, has got Casper. I think Red Matt could potentially still get on the podium despite his penalty, but we'll have to wait and see. There could be dropping down the field then as well as Tony covers off Red Matt once more as Flexi gets himself a time penalty. The two Alpines are battling everywhere as well through Brooklands and Lovefield, so it's Matt Ryan and Bettinio as well. Cam is back in this race as well. He's fighting with Matta as well. Matta has had a horrid race so far because he had to serve his penalty. I have to say, Timo is holding station up there up front in second position on those moves. I have to say he's doing a pretty decent job, but Slenderman could catch him. He's going to be the huge threat to Timo. The DRS will only be activated on lap 25, so it won't be under huge threat soon. Timo tries to weave to make sure that Slenderman does not get the slipstream then. I think with DRS he would have got him, but not now. So lap 25, I think we could see some moves done. But at the moment, Timo is holding station. I'm very impressed with Timo at the moment. It's disconnect. I think the safety car saved him.
But he's going to be under pressure. Casper almost spun it. But cut on the first opportunity, had contact with Redmat. Somehow didn't drop it there. But Johan leads this race by 0.5 of a second. Slenderman looking for it, going through then, forces the opportunity. Timo wide, Timo's going to fight it back low and give him the cold shoulder, push him wide. Ryan Berries drops it in the background, but Timo there under pressure now. Slenderman is going to have to cover the inside line. It's going to be like dodgems down the straight. He's going to look, oh, he thinks about it, and that's compromised him. Is now Tony through, and now Timo in trouble. He's going to be out all sorts of bother right now on the exit. Now, surely, he's going to have to try something. Is he going to think about it now? Not the opportunity to look for it. But now Slenderman can try and chase after Johan. Tony down into third. Here comes Redmat. Surely not going around the outside. Into Maggots and Beckett. Thinks better of it. The two Ferraris line astern right now after their issues earlier on. They're still in this race, potentially. But here comes Redman now with a bit of VRS. Is he going to have a look up the inside? He'll have better braking than Timo, but can't quite do it yet again. As further back, a lot of carnage going off. Cab up into 9th position, battling with New Garden. He's having a storming drive back through this field. Vittorio then with a penalty, but 8 attempts to gap up front. DRS now enabled this lap. And this is going to be the opportunity now for Slenderman to try and do something. We are going to finish under dry conditions here in Silverstone. Is Redman going to think about a move at any time soon? With that DRS, he's got two very hungry Ferraris right up his rear. But the first opportunity is right now. Down into the Wellington Straight, down into Brooklands. Let's see, is Timo going to do anything? He's going to have to try and do some defensive manoeuvres. Is Redman going to think about a move up the inside? No, he's not. The two Ferraris just sitting line astern as well. This is getting close, Jess.
It is getting close. Make sure you watch these final couple of moments of this race, because it's going to get even spicy here at Silverstone as well. Even though we had no rain, a safety car has definitely changed things as well. It's like a sprint race for these drivers as well, and at least they're keeping it clean though at this moment in time. But this could be very crucial for the Constructors' Championship, as Ferrari are still leading and Aston Martin are in second position. And we've got one Aston Martin up into fourth position as Johan has been under pressure by Slenderman. Slenderman looks and he's in your race leader, but crucially, Slenderman has got penalties. I need to check how many penalties he's got. He's got 3 seconds, so he's got to pull the gap to 3 seconds by the end of lap 26. I don't think it's going to be enough, so Johan has just got to keep station to Slenderman in order to do so. So he's got to really stay within DRS in order to make sure that Slenderman does not take this race victory. But my oh my, that was very nicely timed from Slenderman. Yellow flag, that is an AlphaTauri. I think that's Michael Lee. That's Lee. Yes, that's not good for him. That is through just before Maggots and Beckett's, I believe, is where he binned it. We got Mata, who is trying to pass Matt Ryan now. Please don't make contact into the Wellington Straight. They do not. They're going to be going side by side, not leaving too much space though as they head towards Brooklands there, as they break very late, but Mata gets the job done. But don't forget, he does have a 5-second penalty to be added at the end of this race. It's all close between Tony, I think it's the Williams or Matt Ryan, and Mata as well. Matt Ryan just gets ahead of Bettino, but let's watch the battle for the front then. For the final lap, Mata gets a time penalty as well to add to his rows. Unfortunately, I don't think Johan needs to go for this move, Liam, but he probably wants to go for it for pride. But if he can't get the move done, he needs to back off because he doesn't want to go into a wall. He doesn't get the move, he backs off, and Johan is on course to be winning his first race at VSL. Timo is having a nice battle with Casper. My oh my, this is absolutely sensational. But let's go on board, as Timo also had a little bit of a knock there, as Slenderman comes across the line. He wins on track, but Johan wins in Silverstone. Tony in second, and we got Slenderman third, Casper fourth, Jack fifth, Red Matt sixth. Cam is up up to 7th. He was last after this before the safety car, and that safety car saved him. Timo down in 8th, Flexi in 9th, Tony P in 10th, Matta in 11th, and Bettino in 12th. But we got a few time penalties to add, so let me just have a look how that would do. So Matta will drop down to, I think, behind Matt Ryan. So Matta will be in 14th position. Mike will drop down into 60. No, Mike and Ryan Berry will stay where they are because they both got 5-second penalties. But by 0.2 per second, Johan wins in Silverstone. What a race. What a final few laps it was, Liam.
Absolute cracking battle. We're just waiting for Lee to cross the line in that last position then in the Alpha Tauri lens. So Johan wins his first race this season, I believe. And I tell you what, it was a very deserving race as well. I had to fight for it. Slenderman with the in-game driver of the day, though I know who my driver of the day is. It is going to be Cam to me from that torrid start and all those issues he had to come back through. But he's Haas on the top from Williams and then Alfa Romeo.
Yes, indeed. It just goes to show how a safety car can change everything in a VSL. It always does. And you just got to be in it to win it sometimes with these type of strategies. It's not about who is the fastest, it's who plays the smartest. And I have to say, Johan played it smart by qualifying on his mediums, and he backed off for a reason. He said, I backed off on that final lap because he didn't want to qualify on the softs. Well, that helped him get the win today. So let's go through your results then. Provisionally, of course, because the stewards may have to look at a certain amount of reports. Maybe we may not get as much as last week, but we will see. Johan wins from Tony in 2nd. His best result this season. A big job for him from 16th to 2nd. Slenderman from 18th to 3rd. Shame about his penalty because I could have won him his way. He also gets the fastest lap as well, so he gets 2 extra bonus points. So well done to him. Casper, the friendly ghost, in 4th. Jack in 5th. Red Matt in 6th. Cam in 7th. Liam's driver of the day. I have to give my driver of the day to Senderman, by the way. And Johan, my joint driver of the day is there. Timo in 8th. Flexi in 9th. Tony P 10th. Matta 11th. Vitinho gets the final point. Actually, no, Vitinho will be 11th. Matt Ryan will be 12th. Then it will be Matta, then Newgarden, then Mike, then Ryan Berry. And I didn't scroll down fast enough, unfortunately. But that's a cracking race. Any final words before we wrap up?
Well, like I say, it was a cracking race throughout, of course. Lots of drama, lots of, 1 or 2 little incidents. But apart from that, extremely different race from what we saw at Baku. So that's always nice to see the driving extremely good. But until next week, where are we next race, Jess?
I will need to double check the calendar. I actually have it saved on my stream deck, so I'll get it for you right now. So we are in Paul Ricard for the French Grand Prix, a track where Liam had a lot of fun a few weeks ago doing no rules in a Jacket car there as well. But it's going to be the normal layout next week as well. So yeah, normal layout, no rules. So normal layout. They won't be. They will be having strict corner cutting obviously as well. So we shall see. And there we got Portugal after that. Then we got Imola, Japan, Singapore, Brazil, and then Canada. So that is your calendar as well. And I have to say, with that safety car, that helped Casper a lot because we were talking about Casper's fuel usage as well in that Grand Prix. Without that safety car, Casper would have dropped down massively. So I think Casper has Pete to thank for that one. So before we go, thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you to my co-commentator Liam for joining me as per usual. Thank you to our sponsor, Rogue Energy. You can go onto their website, rogueenergy.com. You can use the code VSL F1 League for 10% off. And you could get lots of lovely products for there. You can also follow them on Twitter. Make sure you follow us on Twitter as well, at VSL_F1. Like this video and subscribe and hit that notification bell if you are new. Also follow us on Twitter. I'm at JessGames95. Liam, what is your Twitter?
It is, as I get it up, as I forgot to do it, he's at Liam New Media. Don't forget, follow me. Please do. I'm 5 off 500. I want to hit it maybe one day.
There we go.
Maybe.
Come on, follow him. Go. Do it.
Get me to it. Do it.
Do it right now. Anyway, thank you for watching. I've been Jessica Ball. Evil Dragon has been Liam New. We will see you next week, 8 PM UK time. Be there or be square for the French Grand Prix. Have a good day, everybody, and goodbye.